Okay. So I was saying that today's agenda is so can you see the notepad?
Yes,
Hello?
we can see it.
Okay. So I was saying that today you're going to see how can you set up the GCP virtual machine, how to organize the course into Python modules, and also learning those modules to different sessions. So if we get time, we can also look it up at the AWS part. Okay, so I was saying that we when you log into your GCP account, you you get to this page. So we just go to these three lines. Then you go to compute engine. Then you go to virtual machine. VM means virtual machine, virtual instances. Then you click there. Already have one, which I stopped. So let's proceed the question for the new instance. Just click on click. Then from here, you have to choose the instance which have the GPU, the GPU ones. Um, you can select the region, and also based on the region you're selecting, you might end up not finding the available instances. So you need to go through different regions so that you can see if you can find the available regions with some kind of the instances. If you don't find one, keep looking so that you can find the instance which you can go with. So then name this instance like HOD 19 10 2023. Let me just keep this region. You can see the name, for instance, must be the hyphen underscore. Um, um, those no capital letters. So then I keep this region and so the zone. Then if I find there is no GPUs, then I need to change it. Then just click on the GPUs here. So that's you can see the instance with GPUs. We need one GPU since we have the free accounts. You can come here and NVIDIA T4. Um, the memories in this range, that's okay. We go back here, we allow this. Um, you can see that the size we have for the disk is to 10 GB, which is not enough. But also you need to monitor this part so that we'll be looking at the cost for the instance you're taking for the Mark 3. We need to come here to this button, then we change. Then for this part, you can decide the operating system on which which the instance will be running. So I prefer to go for Ubuntu. I look for the Ubuntu. I prefer Ubuntu. Then you can just take this, which is the long support. LTC means Ubuntu long support version. The disk you can just keep this. Then for the size, maybe take like 150. It will depend on the kind of the kind of the amount of the data set that we'll be using. If you have like 20 GB for the data set or 5 GB, 150 will be enough for keeping the model checkpoints and the other stuff that we might need here. So we just modify the GB size to be 150 GB. For the rest, this you can just keep this one, then you select and you wait. Okay, so we can see that now the cost increased to 218.12. USD for monthly payment. Then after doing this, now we have the disk size, which is 150. And we can also come here. We change the GPUs we need. We need the high memory GPUs. We can see here we have four cores, 2 cores with 26 GB RAM. We can just go ahead and just pick up this one. Um, okay, so now you can see that now the cost increases to 314.76 USD. Per hour it is 0.43. So you're the one to try to monitor and see how long your instance will be running. Okay, so once we are done with this, we have our RAM, the memory, which will be 26, and also um the size of the disk, which is 150. Now we can proceed and create our instance. Let me just create it. We wait. Now you can see that our instance is starting here. This one I just created. So now we have this one. You can see that this instance we have created is not available to this region. And this is one of the problem or one of the issues most of the students face when they are creating the instance for you on this GCP. So what you need to do, just go ahead and create, delete this instance. Then you need to go back and also try to start again. You change the location, and mostly I like to go for Europe because sometimes for Europe that's where most of the instances are not. I kind like they're available. Let me just choose this location. Just keep this free zone. I go for GPUs. So if I go for GPUs, this region does not have this kind of type of instance I need. I need to go back. I change. Then I see still I don't have it here. I don't have it. Um, then I need also to recheck it again. I go for this one. I go for this region. Then for this region, which is in Europe West 3 Frankfurt, in West AB 3B, I check here, high memory, 26. Then I need to update the size of my memory, 150. I go for Ubuntu, just choose Ubuntu. Then I create, I select this one. That looks good. Let me change the name. Let me create first. Then we create. We and I create. Okay, let's see if it is available. So we can see that even this one is not available. So let's try one more. If it doesn't work, I will just use the one already I have. So let's try this region, Europe Central to B. Europe Central to B. Um, just miss this one. I need to go back again. Europe, 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 Europe. Okay, okay. So let me try to see this region. Europe Central, Central to B. Europe Central mhm, to A to B. So let's try this one. We change to high memory. Okay, let me just take this one for testing purpose. Um, oh, sorry, this is part for GPU. That's right. High memory 6. I go for I change this one. Ubuntu, just currency persistent disk. I go for 150. Select this. Then I create. Okay, so now we have our instance. So we can see that for this zone, we're able to find the instance. Now you can see that it starts running. You just go and click on the instance name. Um, then this is the detailed information about our instance. Um, this is our instance, the name of the instance. You just scroll down. Or those are the information about this instance. Then our base interest is based on this external IP. So we be connected to this instance using this external IP. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to try to see how we can link our instance, how we can try to connect to our instance using VS Code. VS Code. So I'll be using VS Code for this purpose. The first thing you need to do, just open your terminal. This is one I was running. Let me close this connection. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, you just need to have this file on your laptop. Open file. It is on Windows. You go to SSH, then inside the SSH folder .ssh. You need, if you don't have this config file, you need just to create it. It's not a text file. It is just a file. It's a file. You can use touch if you need to create it if you don't have it. Then just open this config file. I already have it on my laptop. This is already one of the instances I have. So to add your new instance to connect it to, you need to write host. You name it, then call it HOD test. Then below it, you have host name. Then to this host name, to get to host name, you go back to your instance. Then you just copy this IP. Copy this IP. Then you paste it here. Then identifier. You need to create the identifier under this directory. Um, I mean, um, under this such directory, you can just come here, then you create your SSH keys. So let me go ahead, then I create my SSH keys. You can open the terminal. Let me use git bash terminal, then just type SSH dash keygen and SSH dash keygen dash B, then you apply any kind of number for hashing, enter key. Then you'll be asked if you need to replace to the directory you need to save your SSH keys, just hit enter. Then you'll be asked if you need to override the already existing SSH keys, then hit yes. So to override the one you already have to your computer. Then enter, just skip the phrase, then enter again. So this is the SSH key. So how we can do it, just navigate to SSH directory by using tilde dot SSH. You can see that you have ID RSA and ID RSA public. So let's cut this one, ID RSA dot pub. This is the content for this pub. So what you need to do, copy this pub, everything here, copy this, copy it, then go to your GCP, come here into the search bar, then type SSH. This have been already covered into the recitation 0. Click on SSH keys. Then I have the different SSH keys, right? So you can just come here and click on edit if you already have some. Then you add another new SSH key if you want. But I already have it. I can just come here, then I paste it there. But I already have the SSH key here. So I already have them, so I'm not going to add the other SSH keys. Instead, I was just trying to show you the process you can use to add SSH key. Then after that, you you just come here to this folder for SSH. Then you can just come here, you create another directory, which I could call sh.test. Then you just copy IDRS and IDRS pub. There's two. Then you just copy them and paste into this folder. Then in this folder, for my case, I'm just using GCP and Schadrack-OH-19-10. Then you will just come and do like this I did here. you provide a path to where SSH keys are located. Then once you're done with this, so I just go ahead and connect to my new SSH to my new GCP virtual machine, which I said I will be calling this as test. Then the host name, like those, this one. The host name was this. I'll be using the same file to connect to GCP because as long as my GCP, as long as I'm using this laptop, I can use only one SSH key across my GCP account when I'm connected from the same laptop. If I switch to another laptop, I'll just go there. I create the new SSH key, then I just copy them to my GCP account here, as I showed here. Yeah, I'll just specific. We can see that I have two usernames. I have this username and this one. Means I have two laptops which I use to connect to my GCP. That's why I have two different SSH keys. That's what I'm saying. I'll be using only this is the laptop I'm currently logged on. That's why. So I will just be using the same file, which is this one. Then once I'm done, I just need to save. Then after doing this, then I will need to click on connect on this. If you don't have the extension for connecting to remote server, you can just come to the Visual Studio Code, then you click on extensions. Here in the extensions, you can just write SSH. Then you have remote SSH, which is this one, but I have already installed it. If you don't have, just go ahead and you click here, then you just install it. Then after installing this one, you'll be having this button, if I can just call it a button, where you come and click, it will pop up this window. You just click on connect to host or connect to the current window to the host. It means you click to the host, it will create the new window for Visual Studio Code. But I need to click on the current window. Just click here. Then you'll be having different prompts for different for the different instances you have into your configuration file. So I need to connect to Office Hour Test. Then I just click on Office Hour Test. Then you wait. So you'll be required to select the platform you have. We are using Linux. I click on Linux because it's a virtual machine for GCP and Linux based. So we have this kind of error. Um, then I go there, then I check maybe the reason. All let me just create the new SSH keys. Maybe then I see pattern. First, I need to check. Oh, sorry. I forget to add the user I'll be using for connecting. You just need to copy your username. This will be your username. So if you connect to GCP, those are the usernames I have. And when I go to instances, I think I can even see the username. If I click on test, this one, I think should be see your username. Oh, so I don't remember correctly where I can explore my username immediately through this one, but I can check this after. Um, so after adding my username, but particularly this username, it is the username I have to my laptop. My laptop, the username I have to my laptop. Um, then after doing this, let me truly try to connect. I click here, connect to the current window, voice test, choose Linux. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. Go back and check. Oh, so let me check the IP if it is correct here. Seems like the IP I'm using is not the right IP. So yes, test. This will be the thing on. Let me try to the current test. Linux. Okay. So let me try to see the reason. Okay, so let me try to use the different SSH keys. Let's see if this could work. Copy, copy, then let me use the new SSH keys, then see if this could work. Okay, and edit and new SSH keys, then hit enter. Mhm. So you can see that once you paste it there, this I see. So this is your username here, this one. Then after doing this, let me go back to this SSH folder and I copy. There's two files. Then just paste them here. Then just copy this and I paste it here. Just this way. Okay, let me save and retry. Mm, so the host. So I think, I don't know the reason why it is trying to connect. So let me try to stop this instance. I just use the one I have already created. Maybe this might have some issues. Let me stop this one. Stop. Then I connect it to this. Mm, okay, so let me try to connect to the one I already have and see if I can connect to it. So you can see the IP has changed. You need to copy this IP. You go back to your configuration file. This was the name of my instance. Then I copy this. Then I save. After saving, I connect to the current host, GCP, which instance I need to connect to. I continue. So you can see that for this instance, I have connected this instance. So let's try. Then you need to click here so that you can explore the folders you need to open. I need to connect to this username. And okay. Good. So here, you need. So if I open my terminal, I can try to listen and see what is there. So let me create the folder, the lecture that I already see of this hour. That's it. Then I fill it through of this hour. Then let me suppose that if I suppose that uh our instance was new because it's not a new instance, here's the first process you need to go through. After creating the instance, you need to run this, you need to have this file. You can put it on the top here and I created new file. I call it setup.ssh. Then I say it's the language. Then here the content for this file. This file is for setting up your this is the vacuum machine. I already have the content. So we just need to take this uh, to your instance, which is here. This file contains the process or the automated way for for setting up your GCP virtual machine when you are starting the virtual machine for the first time. You need to do some kind of installation. After do some kind of installation, you are required to files here. Now, this is the part for installing all the required modules you want your to be available to your GCP virtual machine. So for this file, you can feel free to add more other files, more other libraries. For example, if I need to add NumPy, just modify this way, NumPy. Then also this file contains the part for creating your the cargo configuration file, what a configuration file. For you, you need to come here and modify this with the required information from your side. For example, username. This is my cargo username, and this is the key for cargo. Then if one information need to change, only this one, then the rest of the stuff will be constantly run through your machine. So after setting up this set of, I will share this. After setting up the setup, but file this Linux file. So you can come here and run it. Just say change change if the execution permission you say this one here, then you can go ahead and run it. This one, you see, if you run everything, you start to set up your discipline version. Okay, so we can see that there's some modules already installed, so if we keep those modules, Okay, so we can see that now our it, either cargo setup, and also the installation for different packages are being completed using this only this file. Then after that, I need to print this. Now the next step, you need to create different directory structure. For example, you need a directory for keeping your data. So I just say data and that. So I'm inside the directory where all the content for the format will be stored. So I need to create the there. The other one I need to create the other directory for keeping my checkpoints. Then I just say create checkpoints. So now I have two directories. One for keeping data, the one for keeping checkpoints. So the next step we need to do here, we need to create another batch file, under our directory. We just call it download, download, download data, dot sh. Then here's the content. So this file, this batch file, this batch file, it will download the data we need to use for this format. For example, for homework 2, uh, we need to let me go through the content. Let's see. Yes, test is there. So this is for the one for downloading the data. So cargo, the name, the completion, then enter the name for the data you need to download. Then if you don't have this directory to be created, but you have already pressed the directory, then after doing that, you need to unzip the data. You need to copy and paste what will be the final zip file. Then after that, you need to mention where the unzipped data, where they need to be stored. So you need to be stored to the folder we just created. And after doing this, we need to remove this. We need to delete this file because we no longer need it. So let's go ahead and run this file. You just need to do is you can just make it executable. This one or this one. Then after doing this, just do download. You do this. So you can see that because we have already created this to this folder, and things like we did it install cargo, then just go ahead and install it. So, okay. So since you have already installed this one, you need to commit it. So we have created the directory. Then I want to get so you might experience the same issue here, but mostly, the concept of creating the environment, environment for this Python project. So this might be one of the issues that might cause this problem. So we can create it. You can just create one batch environment by using virtual EXP, RAM. You need to have a formula. This is And then let's see how the country divides learning. So, let me, so, if I get to I don't really know the reason why this one is not being installed. This is okay. So probably I forgot how to put the environments using that. So this is to be a command for getting the environment using them. Just to write them in that then the name for the environment. So let's go to sorry for it. Uh, so let's activate it. Yes, go so let's uh, this so now that's the exercise again. So this first test, then activate. So now we have a plenty of environment. So we need to go back and rerun the setup so that we install all the libraries back. So while we're installing those packages, I mean, you might be lost so can answer the question so far. I know the setting up takes time sometimes because of the bugging issues. So if you have the question so far, maybe you can answer it before we leave this part. Any question? Okay, so let's wait for the installation to complete. So in the meantime, let me try to modify this so that undo. Let me just even create. Okay, now I create Another folder for checkpoints. Then I remove this product and be done with this script. Mhm. So once you want this download data script, it will just create the data directory, the checkpoints directory, and download the data, putting the data into data directory, and the zip, this zip file, download it. So instead of doing it manual. Okay, so after doing this, let's go ahead and run the download part. Okay, so the problem here, I'm not being authenticated to Cargo, but I need to jump this password that won't take us time. But this, once you run this uh, after adding your cargo credentials here for this part, for this file, maybe my credentials here has been expired. After adding the error here, this will be fine. So let's go for the part of setting up the Python modules into different files. So let me suppose that I have I have functions for training and also the function for keeping like the helper functions. For example, let me come to this part to say the new file just for it trainings.py. And I have another file which I call models.py. And I have another one which I call the other one which I call maybe config.py. Okay, let me just this one. Then the other one I might have is called um experiment.py. So let me go ahead and try to use one of the notebooks I have. Let me go to Cargo. So uh, let for example, let me take like this notebook. So this is my notebook. So what I need to do, we have already installed all those different stuff we need. Let me suppose that this is my configuration file. This is an example. I just need to copy this configuration file. I come uh, to my machine here. I go to config, then I paste it here and comment. This is my configuration file, right? Then after doing this, I go for the models, go to cargo to my notebook. Um, I just go to the part for where I have my models. So these are my models. Just copy. Then I paste all the models I have here. See the models I have, resume blocks, everything. So those are the models I have, the blocks I have. So the other stuff, then I just pick up my complete model architecture. Go here, then go down, then I paste. Those are the models I have. Copy. Those are the models I have. After doing this, you can have to see this the classifier net, which point uses those less net blocks. Then after doing this, I go to the training part. On the training part, I will take um, the functions which I use for training. This one, the validation, testing, and generate submission. This what I do is just organizing the course into Python modules. This is the other part. The other module contains all the things. So, for example, if you need to use, uh, let me use the model part. If you need to use all the things with sequential, and then you need to import it here for each file. For example, I need to use torch. You need to come here and import torch. I need to use import also torch dot NNA as NNA. It means that all the modules you need to use for this part, you need to import it at the module level. Then I have the part for doing the data set. To deal with the data set, I will just come to the data set part. Mm, so this is a class which have the data set. Just copy this. And I create another Python file which I call datasets.py. I just copied the all the functions which I use for the dataset. So we have this one. Then I go for the experiments. Then experiments contains all the other stuff that you need to do the experiments. So the image is easy. You don't need to add part for plotting the images. For example, if you're dealing with the images, you can do that kind of analysis to your inside your inside your notebook. So you can also have some kind of the utility functions. For my part, I have this utility function, just copy them. Uh, then I can come here, then I say, then I put utils.py or the helper functions. Then I copy them here. I do this. Why? So this module contains all the functions that I need to do such kind of like the plotting the images, like saving the model checkpoints here. I save the model checkpoints. You can load the model checkpoints such, then you have that function into the module called utils so that you can just you reuse them anytime you want. We go here, so for the experiments, that's where we need to add the data loaders, the validation, the test loaders, just copy the data loaders part. You go here to experiments, you add them here, you implement. So these are my data loaders. So I think for each part, the thing you need to, if you need to use the torch, you need to come here and import torch. Import torch. In addition to that, now see how we want to use our modules. You see that I have the config here. I need to access the data which is in a config. So I need to access this config. I just go and I say from config, config, import, config, right? So this config which is here, it is this Python file I just defined here, which contains all the configurations I need. I just go to the experiment. If I need to use this config, I just come here, then I say from config import config. Then I'll be having access to this configuration, to these configurations I have. After importing the data loaders, we go to the part. Um, um, so wait, so for data loaders, you can see that we needed a data set, which is this data set, and this data set. So we need also to create this data set. Where did I create the data set? Here, this part, just the instance for the data set. So you need to put them here so that you can access them. So, right, so this is a data set. So you do this. So if you need to use torch division, you need to do import. So better to import about this one. Say import torch division. Just put torch division. This one. You scroll down. You go here. You uh. So if you need to do just like a sanity checks, you can also add it there. Right here after the data loaders here. So it will be printed into the terminal. We have data loaders. The other part is kind of related to we've done with this, we've done this, we've done this. Now this is where we are setting up the training part. So you just come here, you say defining optimizers, you do this. Now you have this. So if you need to use optimizer, so you need to import it. Just come from touch, import, optim. Others can access to the optimizers. Uh, you also the scheduler, you can access it, yeah, and then you can access it. Also, you need to import NNA, touch neural network, import touch, NNA as NNA. Yeah. So we proceed. Now we're going for setting up the weights and bias. You copy this, you paste it here. Now this is for part for setting up your weights and bias. Here we have this one, so you need to import weights and bias. Uh, just to import weights and bias. Um, you just so this will be set up your weight and bias part. So this your keys. You can have the keys, and also we can also define the environmental variable at the end file so that you can just try to hide this key. So in case if you need to push your code to GitHub, um, we continue. So now we start running this, right? Processing your chain bias. Now it's time to check this and copy this, which is part for training. Then it will be starting training. So you can see that we have to use the checkpoint, we have to use, so in case you need to use the checkpoints, then you need to import all the stuff you need. For example, from training, from training, you need to import, for example, train. You need to do train. You need to do train. You can check what's inside the training. We have inside trainings, we have the train model, we have validate model, we have test model, we have the submission file. Okay, so you do from trainings, you need to import train model, validate, validate model, you have test, test, test the model. This one. So all the functions you need to use for these experiments module, then you just need to import them here from this experiment module. Then you are ready to go. Then after setting up, organizing those files into different modules, you have the part where you need some kind of utility functions. You have them here, or you can even so you can also import them, saying from util import load checkpoints, import checkpoints. You import what you need to use on there. So then after doing this, now you have already finished completed organizing your codes into different Python modules. So you can see that the functions that we'll be using for training, we just try to group them into the module code trainings. We go for for the other part where we need to add some kind of the models or the blocks we need to use. We just come here, we define the Python module, just put them here. The data set, for the data set part, we need to also add all the classes or all the functions that related to how we can create the data sets. So the config contains all the configurations we need. The experiments, that's where we put all the remaining codes where we need to run our experiments. So when we execute, you just execute the experiments. The experiment. So you can see here, you have this one. You have the model. Mm, so we need to create the model, but the model. Let me see where I created the model. Yeah. So this is the model. Mm, let's copy this. Um, Paste it here. So this is the code for creating the model. I didn't copy them. So this one, you're creating a model here. You define a model, you create it, you do everything you need. So this function, you just put it into the detail. Post is the kind of the utility function or the helper function. If you need to use it, you need to just import it here. Then you can use it. If you need to run the model summary, you add it, you do this, you do everything here. So once you've done with the kind of organizing your codes into Python modules, now it's time for running them into different sessions. That's where I had the interest. So we have this. For this part, the first part was trying to show you how we can organize our codes into different Python modules. Now the next part is to try to see how you can run now different experiments into different sessions. So the utils, so I'm going to use the another text file because I didn't download the data for this one. So this will can throw the error. Uh, so if I run, okay, let me try to run past and not to throw the error. I just say Python 3 experiments. Enter. So you can see if we just show this. Why? Because I didn't import the train here. So I just defined the train directory where I'll be finding the data for training the directory. So you should be like inside here. You can just define another file, just call it constants.py. Then inside this file, that's where you can define train directory. You just yeah, point to where directory be. Like so again, os dot get parent working directory or that's one. Or just point to home there slash train. If that's what you have maybe the validation deal. You say it is you can just point to where it is located there, etc. Like this. Then this constant py to be containing all the constants you need, like the training directory, the registered directory, the test directory, and also maybe the checkpoints. Maybe checkpoint there. Checkpoint directory. Then it's better to use os.path.join. Then you just mention the baseline where the path to that. So this experiment we want to run because it's missing the layer and the other part. So this I will just use this to show you how we can organize the codes into different Python modules. Okay, so let me just create the file which I'll be using to show you how we run the codes into different sessions. So let me just call it test sessions dot test sessions dot py. Then let me try to do while to print for I in range 1000. Um, let me write into a file with open dot dot txt when is right. So I'll be running this. I just say um numbers, this. Then I say numbers dot append I. Then after I say double dot right, sorry, f dot right. Then I just write into numbers. Then this is our Python file. So let me just try to execute it in this way. Um, or maybe before using this, yeah. Or maybe let me even try to print it on here on the screen. Numbers. Yeah, we take 100. Okay. So once if I run this file, just say Python print test session. I do this. Oh, what? My space string. That's the error. Converting to a string this way. Okay. Okay. So we do this. You see, it is running this way. This is how it is running. So if I close this terminal and I open it, already the file has already gone, right? So I need to go back. I need to go back. I go to, but if you have my text file here, I have it here. This is the content for the text file, my text file here. This is the content. This can be hard to monitor. And, and I plus I. Okay, this can be easy to monitor. So let me connect back to the directory. Then activate my virtual environment. Test virtual environment source. Then slash activate. So I have activated my virtual environment. So the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to try to show now how can I run my file into a session. So once I close my laptop, once I close my terminal, so I can go back, then I find my file is still running, or if it is the experiment we're making, it's still training, the model is still training. Let's try. To do it, you just use the command called session. Sorry, screen. Command is called screen dash hyphen S, capital S. Then you name your session, the name for your session. For example, let me call it test session. Is the name for my session. Then you hit enter. You see? Now you can see that you have already left our 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 virtual environment. You need to activate it again. Source test them bin activate. Okay. So after activating this, now we want to execute this file into the session. We just say Python 3. We say test. The name was test sessions. We do this. So you can see that our file is running. So let's try to monitor to the file. This is what is being added into inside the file. You can see this is what is being added into the file. This one. You can see is what is being added into the file. So now Let me close my terminal and see. I close my terminal. I close this. Let me reopen. I have closed my terminal. Let me click on text. So open anyway. It's being big, very big. That's why being big, big and big and big. That's why. So let me try to see how I can optimize it. So let me look back to the new terminal and see what happens. Um, so stream that files becoming very big and big, big. Okay. So let me delete this file because it is making it able to start. I don't know if it is going to work this one. Let me open it again. Another terminal. So we have terminated this one. That's why, you know. Okay, because this I've run the endless loop, so this might cause the problem for this one to continue loading. So what I have to do, give a moment. I need to stop it so that then I will reconnect. So give it a few minutes. Is there any question so far? So let me restart it again. So okay. So I just restarted because I just ran the script is kind of like endless and is adding many numbers at times. So the file is growing exponentially. Okay, great. Okay, so we need to check the new IP. This is the new IP we have. Just go there and cost has changed. We need to change it. So the new IP, this is our new IP. So let me connect back to host GCP. Okay, so let's go back. We have our testing, connect. Okay, so this is the file we run. This one, so I need to do kind of modifications so that don't go down for 5 seconds. Um, I'll be writing to the file after 10,000 times. Okay, and let me give it 2 seconds. Okay, so let's go back. So let me rerun it again. So I need to create a session. I said you use screen dash capital S, then or test session. Let me activate my virtual environment. Test them. Test. Oh, sorry. Them. Then dash activate. Then just run Python 3 test session.py. Okay, so this is my file. You can see printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. Okay, it's not quick. There, just 2 seconds. Let me just remove it. Okay, let me run. Okay, so this is my file. So at least this can be this one. Mhm. So we need to monitor inside. Okay, so this is the data we have here. Um, Let me add a new line every time you write. Right. Yeah, continue. So okay. So let's go. Let me try to stop this terminal and delete it. I just go here. So if I go inside the file here inside this file, you can see that the script will still be running in the background. Let's see. You see, the script will continue running. You see, so you continue running this one this way. You see, So let me suppose that this was, let me check the last number, then I close this one. We have this 1000, this one. So let me close. Closing means I'm just closing my laptop. I do this, but don't stop the instance. As long as the instance is starting, is running, just close your laptop, then leave everything there. So, for example, you can see that I've closed it. Let me just go back and reconnect to my instance. Go to your Visual Studio Code, click here, you click here. Oh, sorry, this is not the right one. Let me just close it, just close it. Click here, connect to the current host, GCP. Okay, yeah, connected. Just click here, Explorer, File Explorer, folder. You go here, you open your folder where your project is. Okay, then after doing that, let's try to see what is happening here. Let me open this file. This is the file where we're writing our data. Let's first look at the file. Let's see if it gets updated. You see, our file is still running. There is no problem, it's still running. Even though I have closed my laptop, but it's still running. So how can I go back to the terminal so that I can check, I can see how my model is running? So you just go here, say screen hyphen error means resume, then you specify the session name. There, say test session. So you have to remember the name of your session. Enter. You see, now I can go back to my terminal where my experiments was running. This is the first one. So let's see. Then I can still close it, this one. Let me try to write another one. I run another session. I go here. I run the second script. The pure. Inside here, I just say print hello. Say for I in range. Okay, let me say y true I equal to 0. Say print hello, 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 I plus 1. Then say I plus 1. This is the second script. Then I need to run it into a different session. I just come here, I say screen dash s, I say hello. This is another session name. I just hit enter. Then you can activate your virtual environment if you need. Source test ban bin slash activate. Sorry, that's some typo. Source. Okay. Then after doing this, then I've just run the second script. If you have different experiments, but it will depend on the kind of kind of the instance you have. So because if you have like one GPU, you understand that you cannot run it on two parallel experiments at the same time. So if I had the instance you have two GPUs or three GPUs, you understand that you can run like three or two experiments mean if you have two different model architectures, you can just run them at the same time in two different sessions. Oh yeah, so let me run this. Oh yeah, sorry. My scripts have error. This is true. Yep. Good. Good. So uh I I do this. I do this. So this is the second script we have. Then let me just close it. Then I go back, I go to open the session which was running the other one, screen dash error test session. I do this. You can see it's still running. I can switch back, I close this one, I switch with the two different session. Um I just say screen dash error, the name of the session. If you type it correctly, you just complete it. You hit. You see, the other script is still running. I can just come and close. I close the window. If I close the window, I reopen in my Visual Studio Code. So can see it is connecting there. And just close it. I click here. I connect to host my instance name. Then explore, open this the folder where I need to connect it to this directory. I hit enter. Okay. So if I go to open my terminal, after opening my terminal, I just say screen dash error. I say hello. I need to say to check the session which I called hello. I hit enter. You can see still running. So what you'll be doing, you will just monitoring the model performance through weights and bias. You can just review your experiment running like 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, then just go on check on weights and bias. You see how is the improvement with your model. We just sit in front of your laptop monitoring, just looking to see how your model is performing. Um, for example, if I close this terminal and I open another terminal, I check the other session, screen dash error, then it was called test session as also completed. Enter. You can see it's still running. Then you can see that you can have like 3 or 4 experiments which are running in parallel. If you have like two different model architectures. But I told you that it will depend on the capacity for your instance. If you have the instance with 2 GPUs, probably can run 2 parallel models. You can have a instance with 3 GPUs. You understand you can run three the same with different sessions. So you just monitoring your weights and bias to see how is the improvement to your model. In case there is no improvement, you can just log into your instance. Just go to if you need to update the models. Just go to the models. Then you see kind of the improvement you can make to your model part. So if for example the experiment, you can check if you need to check number workers for the other part. If you need to maybe to modify the configuration, you just come here, you modify the configuration, and where the configuration is being used, it gets reflected everywhere. So uh, that's what I have had for this office hour. And sorry for the first part, so we failed to set up the GCP virtual machine because of kind of the problem for the regions. So, but what we did for this, organizing the codes into different Python modules and And how we run the sessions. This is same how we do it on AWS instances. So you can still use the same video to try to see how you can organize your course to Python modules, how to run experiment to sessions. You can still apply the same to AWS. The only difference is how we set up the instance on AWS. That's the only difference, but the rest of the parts they are similar. Uh, yeah, that's it. So I think Menk has already gone through how we can set up the GCP account, the GCP instance, but he just focused on how we can just connect to Google Colab. This office hours just focusing how we can just run the experiments using the Python script instead of using the Google Colabs or Jupyter notebooks. This setup to test you can, uh, I will just try to link it to the video. You can use it, but also Meng has also, because this one, the version for Meng, but have added some kind of few modules, libraries, so it's still the same. So if there is any question, you can ask because it's almost time. Thank you. Is there any question so before we pause? So let me stop this. So we can stop it and then exit this one. Let me also stop the one for hello. So you have to remember your session name for it to be able to run it efficiently and also to close this one. Yeah, that's it. So do you have any question? Is there any question? So thank you. I hope this will be helpful to you guys. So if there's another question, maybe we can stop by here. Yeah, welcome. And let me stop recording.